a place on campus where they could recruit new young members. In the student yearbook of 1921, it states, "The women's building in the east wing are found the large alumni halls and the smaller committee rooms, which may be used by any organization, faculty, or students on campus." Upon completion, the University of Oregon hosted a party for the Women's Memorial Building on May 7th, 1921. At the start of the following year, there was a party for students in the field next to Gerlinger Hall. The 1922 University of Oregon yearbook reports the following: "Everyone came in costume or old clothes to the college carnival given by the young men and young women. On October 22nd, after the rally for the Idaho game, a rollicking evening was prepared under the leader, Beatrice Witherby. Several houses put on stunts which represented almost every kind of blackface comedian and chorus girls with the usual nigger baby of the country fairs in Monte Carlo, with a roulette wheel where vast sums of money were lost and won by reckless gamblers. Something different was what the committee promised, and the evening was something different, keeping several official-looking policemen busy keeping order when the refreshments of hot dogs and buns were served. After the completion of the Women's Memorial Hall, Irene Gerlinger became a leader in local politics. Many formal events have been held in Gerlinger Hall: dances, wedding receptions, civic events, and official meetings for the donors of the university. In addition to the old Pioneer Cemetery, Gerlinger Hall is known to have had a mysterious past. The building was completed in the spring of 1921 during Prohibition. University of Oregon historian Rebecca Rietseeker claims that the building was designed to be an underground speakeasy.
Well, Gerlinger Hall in University of Oregon was officially built as a women's dorm, as a school of dance and music. But what most people don't know is that the funding for that building started being raised about 1920, just when Prohibition was getting established all over the nation. And all of a sudden, the university says, "Hey, we need $1 million for this new building we've got for our ladies' dorm and our School of Dance and Music." Well, they got to building it, got finished about 1921, just in time for, the height of Prohibition. A building for dancing, for music, wouldn't look at all strange to have dancing and music in the middle of the night on campus, but you have that going on right in the throes of Prohibition. What you have there is a great cover for a speakeasy. Nobody in the right mind would suspect anything at all was amiss on campus in a building that was funded for the very purpose of having, a good time.
While researching Gerlinger Hall, I stumbled upon the following testimony. "We were walking across towards the cemetery on a path when my friend suddenly stopped in his tracks, staring up and to our left, and what I saw was what appeared to be a lady in a long, flowing white dress. The area under her feet was wrapped in swirling fog, even though there was no fog that night, it being a calm, dry spring evening. I stared for a moment and then looked back at my friend, who stared back at me in amazement and said, 'Do you see that?' When we both looked back, the apparition and the fog were nowhere to be seen." In the case of a supernatural experience, one simply has to have been there. In the search for more information, I found James Shamonic, a lifelong area resident. He simply describes himself as one who is spiritually sensitive. I asked him to reflect upon his feelings about the perceived supernatural forces of the building. At first, he felt nothing significantly supernatural, paranormal, or whatnot. However, minutes after his arrival, his entire tone seemed to completely change.
And when I look at the gym floor, I'm sensing it pushing back at me, and what that's giving me the sensation of impact, falling and coming right to a stop. Just probably standing right where I am right now. That's probably why I think that's how I was drawn to this spot, was that she's actually standing right here.